Thank you so much for joining us today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. My pronouns are she and her. We are practicing a relax and restore sequence today. None of us wants to take off our socks because it's cold here. And so we're going to take care of hips. We're going to take care of shoulders and get into the side body. We're going to take it easy and tap into the parasympathetic nervous system so that we can rest and digest with good health. So let's go ahead and just find a comfortable seat. If you've been sitting for a while in a cross-legged position, you might want to go ahead and switch it up right now, just to balance out the hips. Or you could be sitting on block or on a cushion or in hero's pose up on the heels, whatever feels good to you. And we'll just tap into the breath. And the first thing you want to do is just notice, maybe with your eyes closed, if that's comfortable, the tips of your nose, tip of your nose, the nostrils. Just bring your awareness right to the tip of your nose. And if closing your eyes doesn't feel comfortable, just take a soft gaze, look around you, see what you see. And notice the breath. And maybe as you inhale, you can draw in a nice big breath, really long, the deepest one so far today. And maybe just let it go, exhaling through the mouth or the nose and just softening the shoulders down. Maybe lifting up a little through the crown of the head and lengthening the back of the neck. Allowing the elbows to be heavy. And just notice the tip of the nose. And then maybe take your awareness right below the rib cage, right where the diaphragm is, right beneath the lungs. And as you inhale, bring your awareness there. Imagine the diaphragm drawing downward so that the lungs can inflate. Maybe take your hands to your belly if that helps you kind of tap in a little bit here. And as you exhale, notice how the diaphragm kind of softens and comes upward a little bit. Inhale, drawing the diaphragm downward. Exhale, notice it coming upward, pressing out the old air. And as you continue to inhale and exhale there with the awareness of the diaphragm, visualize the actual shape of the diaphragm. It's this flat muscle right here. And as we inhale, the muscle expands downward, allowing the lungs to inflate. And as we exhale, it kind of puffs up like a little balloon as we push the air out of the lungs. And so as you inhale and exhale, it's kind of dropping down into a smile shape. And as you exhale, it's kind of puffing up into like a jellyfish shape. So inhaling, bending down into a smile. Exhaling like a little jellyfish. And so just bringing your awareness there to the belly. Really see that inward smile. And as you exhale, just allow the soft floating upward of that little beautiful jellyfish. And maybe tap into that feeling, coming back to that breath, that that nice, deep, expansive, soft breath throughout the practice today. And maybe take a moment here to bring the hands to the heart. Maybe in prayer position, maybe one hand resting on the top of the chest and the other hand covering the first. And just bring an intention to your practice that supports you today, whether that is cultivating something new, whether that is letting go of something that really doesn't serve you anymore. Maybe it's just being present and feeling good in your body today. Whatever it is, just know that that intention is done. And notice how that feels in your body as you know that you have cultivated your intention today. Let's go ahead and switch the legs one more time. We're gonna just balance everything out once again. And let's draw the spine up really nice and long. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just bring the chin down to the chest. Take a breath or two here, allowing the head to be heavy, stretching the back of the neck. Maybe gently rolling the head a little bit from side to side, not going all the way to the shoulder yet, just right at the back of the neck and the top of the back. And the next time we inhale, let's go ahead and bring the head back to the top of the spine and extend the arms in our nice big victorious V shape. And as we exhale, let's bring a gentle twist over to the right, bringing the left hand to the left thigh or the left knee, bringing the right hand to support you behind the right hip. Just a nice, soft, gentle twist here. Inhaling length into the spine. Exhaling just to soften into that twist, relax into it. Don't force it, just let it happen. One more breath here, and then the next time you inhale, we'll come back to our victorious pose and take that gentle twist over to the left. Just nice and soft. Allowing it to nurture you. The next time we inhale, we'll bring the arms up to victorious pose. Exhale the fingertips out to the sides, sitting up nice and tall here. And then let's walk the fingertips back just a little bit and bring the feet out in front of us. Maybe leaning on the palms, leaning on the fingertips. Get comfortable here. Fingers can be pointed out to the sides or behind you or towards you. We're just going to windshield wiper the knees from side to side here. And maybe take your gaze in the opposite side, bringing the knees to the left and the gaze to the right and vice versa. Maybe moving with the breath. Maybe keeping it really, really slow and bringing the knees all the way down to the earth. And then maybe when you get to one side or the other, just stay here and really soften into this nice twist here. Maybe moving the neck a little bit. See what that might feel like. And then we'll inhale back to center and hang out over on the other side for a couple breaths. Breathing here. Maybe adjusting the neck a little bit. Then we'll inhale back to center and come all the way down to the back, lowering nice and slow and gentle. And inhaling everything out long. Stretching the arms and legs as far apart from one another as you can, and maybe wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. And then let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet to the earth. And point the knees right up at the sky. So maybe you feel the little bones here, these as-is bones right at the hip poking up towards the sky. Or maybe the hands are on the belly, and kind of visualize your belly and your hips behind you as a little bowl. And maybe see if you can't like rock the bowl a little bit from side to side, gently pressing into the left hip bone. And then down into the right hip bone, or the left side of the hip and the right side of the hip, whatever you feel here. And just rock the hips from side to side. It's kind of loosening up the low back here. And then let's rock the hips forward and back. Again, visualizing it kind of like a bowl. And we're rocking the bowl forward and back, tilting the bowl towards the face, tilting the bowl away from the face. And then just kind of get a little freaky there with the hips and give them a little wiggle. Maybe make little figure eights with them if that sounds good to you. Maybe little circles rotating the back on the mat in one direction and the other, kind of weeble wobbling, is that a verb? I don't know, I'm just probably weeble wobbles. Does anybody remember that besides me? I'm aging myself, I'm sure. But weebles wobble and they don't fall down. So think of that back of the bowl, the bottom of the bowl on the mat as your little weeble, just wobbling around. And then let's still the hips here, keeping them nice and balanced. Your bowl is not going to spill. And as we keep the hips nice and quiet here without moving them, go ahead and lift one leg and then the other up towards the sky. Keeping the hips as still as you can, maybe bending the knees nice and deep. Maybe stretching them up towards the sky and rotating the ankles in one direction and then the other, and pointing and flexing the toes. Whatever feels good to you here, and then we'll bend the knees and draw them in towards the chest and just kind of roll a little bit from side to side. Maybe bringing the knees away from the heart, maybe drawing them in really close, and see how that changes the sensations of your back on the mat. And then let's go ahead and let the right foot come back down to the mat and hug that left foot in towards the heart. And then let's take the outside of that left ankle to the top of the right thigh for our supine pigeon pose here, a figure 4 stretch. And see if you can't tap back into that nice quiet pelvic bowl here with the hips nice and level. And just allow this left leg to sort of soften where it is here, without having to go anywhere, without having to progress any farther. And maybe come back to that smiling jellyfish breath. Bringing your awareness back to the diaphragm. Inhaling, smiling the diaphragm downward. Exhaling, floating upward. And then the next time you exhale, go ahead and allow that diaphragm lift to lift the right leg, bringing it towards the heart. Maybe thread that left hand in between the thighs here, clasping the fingers behind the right thigh and drawing both legs toward the collarbones. Hugging your legs inward, staying in the first part of this asana with the right foot on the floor if that's more comfortable for you in your hips. Just letting it be a nurturing experience for you. And if you want, you can flex those feet and really draw those knees in closer, feeling a really nice stretch in the outside of the left thigh here into that IT band. Or you can allow those knees to come away from you and really bring the tailbone to the earth and press the right thigh into the hand. Or you can just soften both feet and just kind of hang out here, maybe rocking a little bit from side to side. You can stay here, or you can extend that right leg up to the sky, shining the sole of the foot upward. Flexing into that foot here. And then bending the knee, softening the foot. Inhale to extend the right leg, flex the foot. Exhale to soften the foot and bend the knee. And then we'll inhale, pressing that right sole of the foot up towards the sky, and we'll stay here extended. And if you'd like to go a little deeper, you can bring the hands to the back of the calf here, drawing the toes closer to the forehead. Not by a lot, obviously, just a little closer. And maybe even massage that calf with your fingertips. Maybe massaging into the shin here with your thumbs. Really getting into any areas here that might be tight or tense, or just calling out for a little bit of attention. And then give your calf one more big squeeze hug. And then go ahead and cross those legs farther over so that you're actually, the left leg is crossed over the right, just like if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. And reach down and see if you can hold on to the calves or the ankles or the feet. So the right hand is holding onto the left leg and the left hand is holding onto the right leg, and just hug those legs in towards the heart. This is a, excuse me, lying cow face pose, Gomukhasana. And this is a lot harder to do sitting up, so I like to do it supine like this. You can really get intensely into the outside of the left thigh here and just breathe. Now this is the tricky part, excuse me. Holding on to that right leg, wherever your hand happens to be, that left hand. You're gonna wanna inhale, release the left leg, and drop the sole of the left foot down to the mat. And then draw that right arm up and beyond alongside the ear, lying on the floor so that the hand is up over the crown of your head. And just breathe here. This is Orchid Pose. You're kind of like doing a sideline quadriceps stretch. And you can press with that left ankle into the right thigh, maybe even draw those right fingertips over the crown of the head towards the left. And really get a beautiful stretchy curve going in the right side of the body here. Maybe looking back over the left shoulder. And just breathe here. See where you can soften the jaw. Soften your grip on your foot if you're holding on for dear life like me. Just soften and just relax into this pose. One more full breath here, and then the next time we inhale, we'll extend everything out long again, drawing that nice long good morning stretch. And then as you exhale, draw one knee and then the other in towards the chest, getting a nice little hug here. And then we'll take the sole of the left foot to the mat, hugging that right knee in towards the chest. And then taking the outside of the right ankle to the top of the left thigh. Keeping those hips nice and balanced here, that pelvic bowl just kind of settled and soft on the mat. Take a couple of those deep smiling belly breaths here. And then you can either stay here or on an exhale, thread the needle, drawing that right hand through the space between the thighs, maybe lifting the head and shoulders to get up and reach that. But once you've got the hands interlaced behind the left thigh, bring the shoulders and the head back to the mat. If that's not comfortable, just release that left foot back down and stay in the figure four stretch, the first part of this pose here. Otherwise, you can rock a little from side to side. You can be really pressing into this pose and getting into that good stretch, or you can soften into this pose and just be, whatever feels good to you here. And then let's extend that left leg up towards the sky, flexing the foot. Bend the knee and soften the foot. Inhale, press. Exhale, bend. Inhale, press, and just stay here. Maybe rotating that ankle again if that feels good. Pointing and flexing the toe. And if you want to go a little deeper and get that little calf massage here, you can bring the hands up behind the calf and draw those legs in a little bit closer. And just get in there and get that really good massage, finding all the tender places you can reach from here. Whether it's the shin or the calf. Then give it one more little squeeze hug. And then go ahead and cross that right leg over the left and draw those calves or ankles or feet, whatever, come to your hands comfortably here. And draw them in towards you into our supine gomukhasana, cow face pose here. And it's cow face pose because if you're sitting and doing this, it's supposed to look like the legs are a cow smiling. We'll have to do that one of these days. But not today. Today's sock day. And we'll just lay here and hug those knees inward, noticing what you feel in that right hip here. And then when you're ready, hold on to that left ankle with the right hand. Release the right foot down to the mat. And draw that left arm up overhead alongside the ear. Take a big full breath here. And then maybe press that right ankle into the top of the left thigh and glance over that right shoulder and draw those left fingertips over towards the right, making that beautiful crescent C shape here. One more huge breath. And as you exhale, just let this soften. Release all effort, just melting into this pose. And then we'll inhale the next time we're ready to and extend everything out nice and long. Stretching long through the right side body, stretching long through the left side body. And then let's go ahead and draw one knee and then the other in towards the heart. Rock a little from side to side. And then either roll to one side or the other, or bring the hands to the backs of the thighs and rock and roll up and down the spine a couple times and come to a seat. We're gonna go ahead and extend those legs out long in front of us here. Really set those sit bones evenly on the earth. And let's go ahead and draw those fingertips out to the sides. And as we inhale, we'll lift the arms to our victorious pose. And as we exhale, we'll hinge forward at the hips, stopping with a nice flat back whenever you feel a stretch in the back of the thighs or the low back. Inhale here again, and when it feels right, go ahead and soften the fingertips down towards the earth. Drawing yourself forward as you inhale. Allowing the belly to come closer to the thighs as you exhale. And then just go ahead and allow the back to round here if that feels good. Just hang. Let go of any effort in the feet and the legs and just let the shoulders kind of drape over the thighs here. And if you want to go a little deeper, you might creepy crawl those fingers forward, holding on to the calves or the ankles or maybe the outside edges of the feet. And use the hands to kind of draw your belly a little bit closer to your thighs, opening up through the side body here. Nice big inhale here. Stay for the exhale, and as you inhale again, we'll go ahead and walk those hands back up to our hips. And then let's bend that right leg, bringing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the right thigh. And we'll do that same thing just over the left leg this time. So let's inhale those arms up to our victorious pose. And then exhale, coming forward, hinging at the hips, keeping that heart in line with the knee, toes pointed up towards the sky. And when it feels right to you, go ahead and soften those hands down and allow the back to just kind of curl forward, soften through the foot. Noticing what you feel as you inhale into the small of the back, the hips, the shoulders. Maybe creepy crawling those fingers forward to reach around the ankle or the foot. Draw the heart towards the knee. Notice what you feel in the back body. And then let's go ahead and inhale, coming back up to a nice tall spine. And then let's bring that right hand down to the mat behind the right hip. And as we inhale, let's stretch long through the left side body, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Making a beautiful rainbow shape here with the left side body, pressing the toes down to the earth to get a stretch in the front of the shin, pointing the toes up to the sky if that feels good. Just noticing what you feel here and adjusting your body to really get into the parts that feel like they need a good stretch. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale to soften the hips back down to the earth. Bring the soles of the feet together, holding on to the toes or the ankles here. Let's inhale, lifting the heart, coming into a seated cow pose. Exhale, rounding the back into our cat pose. Inhale, lifting the heart, drawing the elbows down to the thighs. Exhale, cat pose, really drawing that belly button all the way back to the spine. And then we'll come back up to a nice straight neutral spine. And this time we'll send that right leg out long. Coming into our nice tall seat here. Let's inhale those arms up to our victorious pose. And exhale, folding forward, heart toward the knee. Bringing the belly closer to the thighs. It feels good. And releasing those palms when you're ready. Keeping that straight back here or allowing the bend, the rolling forward, the softening, the bringing of the forehead closer to the knee. Or maybe tiptoe those fingertips out and stretch out, holding on to the ankle or the foot. And really actively drawing the heart closer to the thigh. Noticing what you feel in the back body here. And if it feels good to make a sound here, you can just make a nice big sigh. Maybe just purring a little bit here, letting it feel good. And then we'll inhale, coming back up to our nice tall spine. Plant that left foot back, or left hand back here behind that hip. And lift those hips up towards the sky. Stretching out long through the right leg, the right side body. Letting those fingertips just drape out beyond the head. Beautiful rounded rainbow shape. Really wiggling those fingers to stretch out long through the side body, maybe rotating the heart up towards the sky, getting more of a stretch in the front line. One more inhale here and exhale to soften back down to the earth. Bringing the soles of the feet back together for our butterfly pose. Maybe taking a moment here with the feet together to just take your thumbs to the bottoms of the feet, to the spaces between the little bones and the top of the feet. Maybe coming to the heel or the ankle or the tips of the toes, squishing one and then the next all the way down to the baby toe. Maybe rubbing them a little up and down, whatever feels good to you here. Noticing if you have any areas of tenderness here. And then let's go ahead and bring both knees back up towards the sky. Scoot yourself so that you're centered on your mat. Have the soles of the feet here pressed to the mat. And let's just lower down, holding on to the knees or the thighs, one vertebrae at a time, or as close as feels good to you. Really though, thinking of each and every bone coming to rest on the mat. And then we'll inhale, stretching everything out long here. And then we'll come into our final Shavasana. What that looks like to you might be traditional Shavasana with the legs sent out long, feet at the corners of the mat, arms out wide, palms shining up towards the sky. That's your Shavasana. Have that chin nice and tucked. Hug the shoulder blades in toward one another. Maybe press the heels onto the mat and lift the hips so that the small of the back is really nice and rested here. You could use some pillows or blocks under the knees. You could come into a constructive rest pose with the knees resting on one another, bent with the soles of the feet as wide as the mat. Maybe cover up with a blanket if you're cold. And allow yourself to come back to that intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Honoring that intention for yourself. And then let's come back to that beautiful smiling diaphragm, floating jellyfish breath. Take 3 full breaths there. Inhaling the smile. Exhaling to float the diaphragm upward. 2 more on your own. And then go ahead and let go of any effort at all. Let go of control of the breath. And just allow the body to rest here, supported by your mat and the earth beneath you. Allow the body to be soft. And bring your awareness down to your toes. And imagine that there is some warm light glowing from your toes. Whatever color speaks to you, maybe it's a beautiful white light, red light, yellow light, maybe it's a purple light, a golden light. It doesn't matter, whatever light you feel warming up your toes. If you're practicing this video when it's really hot out, maybe you're cold, your toes are getting cool. And then allow that light to creep upward into the feet, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet. Continuing into the ankles, filling your body with this energetic light. Coming up to your calves, the knees, into the thighs, filling both legs with this wonderful glowing light. floating upward into that pelvic bowl. Beautiful balanced bowl. And then up into the belly, the back, glowing from the entire torso. Notice the fingers and how they begin to glow with your beautiful lighted energy. Into the palms, backs of the hands, the wrists. Moving up the arms, forearms, elbows, biceps and triceps. Steadily warming the shoulders and the neck and the shoulder blades. And coming ever upward, up the neck and the throat. Filling the jaw with its soft and radiant light. Cheekbones and the temples, back of the skull, eye sockets, the forehead, and the top of the crown of the head. Glowing with this beautiful light of your own creation. Bringing your mind back to that intention as you picture this beautiful, glowing, soft light that's the perfect temperature for you right now. Let's just stay here for 3 full breaths, uncontrolled, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just allowing the glow to surround you. And if you'd like to stay in Shavasana, feel free to stay here as long as time allows for you. But if you're ready to come off your mat, let's go ahead and bring those arms up overhead and extend the toes away from the fingers, getting one last good morning stretch, no matter what time of day it is. And then we'll rotate the ankles and the wrists in one direction and then the other. And then with the arms still extended, go ahead and roll to whatever side serves you best so that you can rest your temple to the bottom arm. Come into that fetal position. Going from Shavasana, corpse pose, to this fetal position. Knowing that when one thing ends, something new begins. And the next time you inhale, go ahead and keep your eyes closed if that feels good for you, but press yourself up into a nice tall seat. Whatever feels comfortable to you today, Sukhasana, easy seated pose, Dandasana with the legs outstretched in the front. Just go ahead and rub those hands on the tops of the thighs. Just kind of back and forth, maybe tilting that chin down towards the chest. And then let's inhale those arms up alongside the ears, coming into that victorious pose one last time, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze, and then bringing the palms together to exhale, hands through heart center. And this is where we tilt the chin gently in reverence of the best in each of you. And in gratitude. May you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your hearts. Namaste.